know my name. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 249 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mr. Prime in the building. Today we were talking the Eagles and Jets recap. Eagles beat the Jets, and now we are on to the bye. So overall, a good feeling. It's a dub is a dub in the NFL, and you could say whatever you want. You could say whatever you want. I felt great. I know Prime felt great. I know a lot of Eagle fans felt great that were there at MetLife. It almost felt like we have been in New York, New Jersey at MetLife for the last 2 weeks. Like we lived there. We actually lived there in the parking lot. But the spirits were high, right before the game. We did not exactly know, if you listen to Derek Gunn and you believe Derek Gunn, as we all do, if Derek Gunn says something, you listen. Minshew Mania was happening, whether you liked it or not. Some people are Minshew stands. So be it. Some people are Hurt stands. Some people are Wentz stands. You name it. There's stands for every quarterback that has ever played quarterback in the city of Philadelphia. But the idea of a backup quarterback is always something that Eagle fans would like to see. They always want to. It's always interesting when the backup quarterback comes in. Well, he came in and he had a hell of a day. I remember just looking across to Prime during the game, or we're talking about the game, and the word that just kept coming out of my mouth was like efficient, very efficient. Mm-hmm. Like he played well, he played great, he played efficient football. Knew where he wanted to go pre-snap, hit the check downs, threw with some anticipation. I know Prime's going to get on that in a second. Threw with some anticipation, led his receivers. The offense looked like it moved smoothly. We did play the New York Jets, as we did play the Atlanta Falcons. Like we were going to have these conversations of whether, I root for the quarterback of the Eagles, whoever that is on game day. And I feel like there's this Avenger war going on amongst fans. Like there's so many wars going on right now. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to see a W going into the bye. We're building upon it. You should feel good about yourself, and you should feel good about your Philadelphia Eagles.
That's right. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves a franchise quarterback. Am I right? No, I'm kidding. It was a great game yesterday. Gardner Minshew, my man, filled in. It's like we said at the top of the show, like Will Smith, Darby said at the top of the show, it's the Jets. It was a great game yesterday. Minshew came in, did exactly what he was supposed to do. I said before the game started, I put a tweet out and said, Minshew has to manage the team today. We don't need to rewrite the playbook to beat the Jets. Put the ball in the hands of your best playmakers and let them carry the load. Keep it simple, stupid. And honestly, that's exactly what I think the Eagles did. I think the Eagles put the ball in the hands of Dallas Goddard, let him get some touchdowns in there early. We put the ball in the best position. Kenny Gainwell had himself a great day yesterday. Like you said, the offense was efficient. But at the end of the day, it's the Jets. I feel like a lot of backup quarterbacks could have came in and executed the same game plan yesterday against the Jets that we did. But ultimately, you still have to execute it. You still have to put those balls on the money, even if they're little dink and dunks. And we won. We won the game handily.
Listen, being in the building yesterday from last week, big difference. You guys know how last week turned out. It wasn't what we expected. We ended up walking out of that place with an L. We head back up there, and we didn't know what to expect. We get the news that Minshew is going to go ahead and start. We had Minshew's number one fan pretty much right next to us the whole day. He was excited. We got a couple, cuts from him, some videos and everything, getting a little interview from him. So it was hyping us up. Let me just tell you, man, being in that building yesterday, the vibe was totally different. The music was great. The anticipation was great. The hype was great. Getting ready to see Minshew go in there. All I said in the very beginning was, you surround this man with a good offensive line and some good weapons. I think he's going to do some damage. Yeah, it's the Jets. I get it, man. But we're talking about the NFL any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, man. So like last week, prime example, expectations was to go into New York and win that game last week. That didn't happen. Uh, Expectations going into this week, again, because of the outcome of last week, we didn't know what was going to happen. But look, the man stepped in. He did his thing. Evan, let me just tell you, man, sitting in the seats that we sat in yesterday and watching this dude sling the ball the way he did is just what I want Jalen Hurts to do. And I said this to you before, man. I'm not going to change. And look, Jalen Hurts is our quarterback. Just like Nick Sirianni said it yesterday at the end of the game, and he mentioned it again today's conference, he is our quarterback going forward. I got that part. No question about it. I'm not here to start a controversy. But before we came on, Gail mentioned a good point. It was just good to see what this offense can actually do. All right. These kids, these wide receivers, it was good to see Dallas Goddard actually have his breakout game. It was good to see Miles Sanders break his rushing attempts from 21 to 24 yesterday with 120 yards. He didn't score a touchdown, but it was great to see it. Kenny Gainwell had a great rushing 8 touchdown. For 18 yards. He ended up scoring that touchdown. There was one play in the second quarter from Minshew to Quez Watkins on the left-hand side of the field where he led the receiver. The one thing that I've been asking for the longest is lead your receivers and plays will be made. And that's what that dude did yesterday. He slung that ball to that left side and he led Quez right to the spot and got a 22-yard gain. That's all I just want Hurts to work on. And I've been mentioning that from the get-go. And just to see that kid Minshew yesterday do that, it just felt good. So, I mean, like even the people that, besides Gail, we had, a couple of our followers. We had DJ Lowski over there. Chris was there. And they saw a different attitude from me yesterday because I was excited. I was into the game, man. I was into the game. And then it just got to the point I was screaming and hollering at Rager, your ass, your butt, get off the field. Even before he received the kickoff, I was yelling at him to get off the field. But look, it was just fun being involved. I was going back and forth with a lot of Jets players. We had a bunch of old heads sitting in front of us. They had a great time because of us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They didn't have a good time because of their Jets. They had a good time because of us, because we showed them a good time. You know what I mean? We showed them a different side of Philly fans coming into your stadium and behaving the proper way, having a good time, shooting the shit, but having a good time. And then at the end of the game, they shake our hands, wishing us the best of luck. Good luck with the podcast, all that stuff, showing us love. All that came together yesterday, and it was a great day. It was a great day. Yes, again, it was the Jets. I get it, but it was just great to walk out of that place with a W and watch the show that man Minshew put on yesterday.
And even oh, sorry, I was gonna
go ahead.
I was going to say, even in a game, like you kept on saying, and I said as well, that it's the Jets. You're going up against the Jets, but there is even that level of nervousness as you're going into that game, because ultimately, before we saw everything that Minshew was going to do, you're going into this game with a backup quarterback. And this was really, in reality, a must-win game yesterday. The Eagles needed, in order to stay in contention, in the hunt, just really keep the morale high in the locker room, they needed to pull off this dub yesterday, and that's exactly what they did. And I'd be lying if, like, Minshew, the two personalities between Minshew and Jalen Hurts, I feel like couldn't be more contrasted. I think Jalen Hurts is a very reserved, very locked in, Mamba mentality type of guy, where Gardner Minshew is this just fun-loving, just likes cracking jokes in the huddle, and is just high energy in all of his celebrations and everything he does. I think it's very interesting in the fact that I love both of them, man. Both of their personalities, I think, are great spins on the quarterback position. I think that they're very different, but very effective in their own ways.
Before I get back to that point, I want to give a shout out to all the Eagle fans that showed up for the tailgate. Obviously, we're in enemy territories, but Eagle fans showed out, man. Like they definitely had a good time. We had to, we had to try and put on a show without Evan. Like when one man goes down, another guy steps up. Shout out to Chris Malley who stepped up on the grill.
Yeah, those pork roll sandwiches look slamming.
Pork roll was intense. It was very, very, very tasty. Shout out to the Birds of War who showed up. You probably saw them all over all over social media and at the game. They had a great time.
They were all over
shout out to Chris Nady who has portrayed Jim McMahon and Minshew in back-to-back weeks and went viral in both back-to-back weeks. But yeah, we tailgate with us earlier in the day. But overall, I just thought Eagle fans showed up and showed out, and they represented. I felt like the Giants fans, the way they were looking at us, we didn't really outnumber them last week. The Jets fans, we showed up. They were looking at us like, where do they grow you guys from? Because we're just. And so I was sitting next to a guy, and I heard him like talking about some other Eagle fans. Like, could you shut up, dude? And he's like, bro. He's like, Jets fans, we celebrate first downs like they were Super Bowl victories.
They were Super Bowls.
I felt that the pain in his like. So I mean,
relatable, man. Relatable. We've been there.
Yeah, we had a Jets fan that was sitting behind us, and I even invited him over to sit in front of me so I could just keep on going back and forth with him. But it was a great time. The place was totally different from the week before. It's like Gail mentioned. I mean, the Giants fan, they gave us that look that they didn't want us there. Mm-hmm. We definitely couldn't come together to outnumber them last week. But yesterday, yes, the Jets were definitely outnumbered. The Jets are more like a laid back, and I guess because it's an AFC team versus an NFC team. But I mean, it's not like we have history with the Jets.
Yeah, but the Jets haven't celebrated anything since Super Bowl III.
And you're absolutely right. But I mean, like, I just still give AJ, what's up? I just still give them props because they remind me of how we are with our Eagles. They still are there to support them. I mean, this dude I was going back and forth with, man, he was trying his hardest to find a reason to, to come at me and everything. But it was just like he was getting a little bit ahead, and then they found a way to bring him back to reality because, it wasn't really much happening. But like Gail had mentioned, first downs, these guys were celebrating like if it was a Super Bowl victory. They all got up. They're all screaming first down. And then, but again, like the music was totally different from the Giants game. You had people actually standing up, dancing. And I'm like, dang, like, this is crazy. Like, this is a different atmosphere than what it was the week before. But it was a good time. Shout out to the Jets fans, man. It was a good time. They really held it down. But, we ended up getting out of that place with a W. It was a good vibe, good feeling.
What is a good feeling is the fact that we got a couple tweets during that, like people will reach out to you during the game. Sometimes you miss like tweets and stuff, and then somebody was like, "Hey, did you just see this tweet?" Because we saw that Jennifer Slay might have to team up with 4th and Jawn for an epic tailgate party. Fun fact: I've never tailgated before. So we are. Not only is this the bye week, but this is a prep like no other as we're trying to make this tailgate as dope as possible. So everyone, shout out to Ricky. I just saw in the comments. As always, everyone's invited. Shout out to Bud Light, Birds of War. One of the mans has a Bud Light tattoo on his chest. So and shout out to Conchi Bakery.
Couldn't censor the nipple, huh?
I was like, I
had to show.
I was like, I wanted to know the reasoning behind that, but I didn't ask. But one thing I did ask pre-show to you guys is a QB controversy. We kind of on this podcast don't believe there's a QB controversy, but I think there is a QB controversy in the background. I mean,
you know for a fact That like as we talk right now, everybody's thinking rationally. Everybody's thinking that this is Hurts' team. We've said he's going to get the year-long evaluation. But Jerome brings up a great point in that, like, coming off of Minshew's great performance yesterday, he completed 80% of his balls. There hasn't been a completion percentage that high so far this year. Keep that in mind. If Hurts comes out slow versus Washington, the people in the stands
fans are not going to hold back.
No, they're not going to hold back. This is going to be stewing for 2 weeks now. This conversation is just going to continue to build and pick up steam as we head into the bye week. People are going to be sitting around getting bored, wanting nothing to do but sling mud across the timeline, and that's where we're going to be if Hurts comes out slow. I mean, if he comes out and he does well, it's all's for naught. But
that first drive is going to be so intense just to see what Hurts puts together. And you know what I mean? Like, hey man, I hate to say it. Yeah, there ain't no controversy here, but there's going to be a controversy started within the first 5 minutes of that Washington football game. If that man doesn't go in there and do, hold up the expectations from us fans, he's going to hear it. And we don't have no problem letting him know, man. No problem at all. So
we've seen what that offense is capable of.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
But I do think that we said this previously before this even happened. Like, Minshew's probably going to play decent against the Jets, who are not that great, and then we're going to get a bye week in between, and the Eagle fans and media will build this whole huge story in their minds and the juicy. But it's funny is because, like, not only did Minshew win, but he had these moments of, like, after the game, he's, punching his dad. He's like punching. The lady in the background, sign this for the troops, Gardner. I was like, can I have a moment? Is Gardner the most violent hugger you've ever seen? Like, I was like, did he cut his knuckles? Pop's knuckles? Are they bleeding?
Well, I mean, I think we saw it even after the game because, I mean, he went to the tunnel, and before he went into the tunnel, he started giving high fives. Gardner!
I got to be honest, that was the moment for me where I was like, I fucking love this guy. I was like, I've never seen someone so hyped to jump up in the stands and say what's up to say what's up to the fans, dude.
I don't know.
Up. And the thing that I'm sitting here saying is, like, how can you sit here and not love that guy? Exactly, you know what I mean? Like, how can you not love that energy?
I mean, he did run to Chris though. He did run to Chris and his sign.
That's who he jumped up to. Yeah.
But did you see the one? Did you see the one before he actually went through the tunnel? He got hyped up and jumped up and slapped another fan's hand right before he walked in. Like, he was hyped, man. It was a great game. I mean, I think yesterday's game was a message he just wanted to put out there. Like, yo, Jacksonville didn't have confidence in me, but Jacksonville didn't have the right tools for him, man. Like, they didn't have the line set up for him. They didn't have the protection. They didn't have the weapons. You bring him into Philly. We don't have the best of a line, but our line is decent. Our line is going to hold theirs. We have weapons, you know what I mean? And yesterday he put all that into play, put it all together, and made it happen. So, I mean, like, just that moment with his dad, man, that was real cool. Like, that touched big time.
I just think the energy is something you need. Sometimes you just need a spark. And you're always as good as your depth, and just having a good quarterback to come in when you need a quarterback, when your QB is hurt, that's why you have a solid depth signing. When they brought him on, I thought, well, it was a trade. They traded a 6th-round pick for him. But at the end of the day, I feel the Eagles, just like we are evaluating the position. I'm still evaluating the position. I want Jalen Hurts to get his season, and I think the Eagles, while they're lurking at other QBs across the area while they're doing their due diligence as what they should be doing, scouting the top QB prospects in the draft, or playing Minshew, whatever it may be. Like, because we heard Hurts say, I'm going to play on Sunday. So where do you guys stand as fans after Hurts's comments on Wednesday saying he's going to play, and then on Sunday, him not playing? Do you think he could have played Hurt?
I think that he wanted to play Hurt. I think the reasoning behind all of that, I think he was trying to jump out in front of it and make sure that the fans know he's ready to go. And I think he wanted to play, but I think that the team ultimately would just rather risk him not injuring himself. But I think Hurts's main goal was to avoid all of this. If I got to be completely honest, I don't think he wanted to give Gardner a chance to go out there just because he wants this to be his team, which is the mentality he should have. But you need to be safe. You need to make sure you're going to be good to go for the rest of the year. And there was other people that were talking about just how much time Gardner Minshew had yesterday. It's the same offensive line we've had all year. I mean, it's not like Jalen Hurts isn't getting the same time.
Yeah, and good point, Evan, because a lot of people have been like, oh, how can they go ahead and give him more time and not give Jalen? It's the same line, same guys, same concept. Every game is to go ahead and protect that quarterback. Now, you know what I mean? And we have two quarterbacks that have a two totally different style. And you saw that yesterday. I mean, like the one thing I could go ahead and just call out that is different between the two, Minshew used his check down yesterday. You don't get that from Hurts. All right. My thing, Minshew led his receivers. Jalen needs to work on leading his receivers. He has a couple plays where he'll get that down pat, but he doesn't utilize it as much as Minshew utilized it yesterday. I mean, again, everybody's gonna be quick to say, "Hey, it's the Jets, man." Fuck all that. They're an NFL team, man, just like everybody else. Come on, stop. Like they got some good talent guys on there just as well. So, I mean,
can I tell you what I think was honestly one of the most impressive things that happened yesterday with Gardner Minshew? And it wasn't even a throw. It wasn't a run. It was getting the Jets to jump off sides on 4th and 3. How the hell did they jump, dude? Like, you had to have seen that coming. The positioning where they were in the field, the Eagles are willing to give up yardage for the punter, and they jumped off sides. I was like, this guy can do anything. He can do anything.
Was that Mosley that went off sides?
Yeah. But we got more excited on
a veteran
reaction, on his reaction after
nobody was expecting that. I everybody that's watching that watches football knows exactly what the Eagles are trying to do there, and they took the cheese. How could they have possibly taken that?
But he jumps up in the air like, yes, I got you, fuckers. It was just like cool to see, like, yo, this dude is so into this game. It's great, man. Like it was good. It was good, man.
And so not only did Mosley get caught, though. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I said not only did Mosley get caught, he also got caught by Fletcher. Did you guys see the receipts that Mosley said the way that the Eagles players were very disrespectful. They didn't even shake their hands. And then Fletch put out a post where he's hugging Mosley at the handshake. He's like, we didn't shake your hands. I gave you a hug, bro. Like, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
CJ Mosley.
I didn't catch that.
I think Mosley was just in his feels, man. He lost no backup quarterback.
The other thing that was very good to see yesterday was some of the decisions that Minshew was making. So like there was a couple plays where we had just got finished talking about that. He's like, it seemed like he's having a perfect game. I think at the time he was probably like 16 for 16. Then he comes out of the snap and he sees that there isn't a play, and he just threw the ball down. You know what I mean? Like didn't force it anywhere or anything like that. A lot of the people were like calling for intentional groundings, and me being that guy, I'm over there. The player was over there. Shut up. Everybody sit down. Like, yo, I had that place getting upset. I even had an older man, like it was wearing a white hat, that couldn't stand me. Like he wanted me to leave so bad because I just wouldn't shut up. I mean, but it was just like those plays, those decisions by Minshew yesterday were key, man. Like, and again, like I'm not I'm not trying to downgrade Jalen, but those are just the type of things that I would love to see out of him. Better decision making, better, ways of handling the ball, stuff like that is just what I wish the kid could work on.
Now, Adam had a question here. He said, I wonder who Lurie and Roseman like. He thinks Sirianni prefers Hurts and Minshew. We'll go with Evan first. Who do you think Lurie likes, and who do you think Roseman likes better?
Well, I mean, it came out that that Lurie was more of a Hurts guy, so I would have to think that he's leaning in that direction, and the fact that Roseman wasn't so high on him and Minshew having a great day yesterday, I would say that Roseman's a Minshew guy.
Okay, you're believing everything you read, Evan.
Okay, what do you believe?
No, there's nothing. No, there's nothing.
No,
There's
no,
nothing.
what do you believe, Neil?
There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Because, like, sometimes they put stories out, and you're like, do you believe it or not? Prime, do you fall in line with Evans?
I do fall in line with Evans.
Oh, okay. You believe it? Read.
Well,
Fake news media.
Hold up. Slow your roll, bro. That's that guy, not me. I'm not saying you believe what you read. My thing is, like, it's just a proven fact on how things have been going on and during the season with the whole Watson, Russell Wilson talks, all that stuff. So yeah, I feel like Lurie's got more. He definitely has that love for Hurts, and he doesn't want to let go. Like, he just has that love relationship with a lot of his players. Harry Roseman, you guys know, we all know where he stands with this shit, man. So he's not confident in Hurts because he's definitely pushing for a Watson and now a Wilson, and who knows, maybe even somebody else down the line. And now seeing the performance that Minshew did yesterday, God, I know he's having a field day today. Like, quarterback controversy, I'm going to be the one to start the controversy.
Yeah, Roseman. I want to hear your answer.
No, I honestly don't. I honestly don't know where I don't like that. I heard that report and I was just like, I was like, I don't even know if that I don't even trust any of them. I don't even believe that they're still lurking, bro. I don't think they like either of them. I think they're guys outside this locker room.
Well, I mean, we talked about how before the show started, we talked about how Howie Roseman, he just seems to not be. He always seems to want to have a backup plan. We talked because we were talking about whether it seems like there's some shady movement going on within the organization. It seems like they're trying to line up a new quarterback after Hurts. But that seems to always have been the case, is with my point. Like, if we go back to, obviously, when Carson was our franchise quarterback, we were convinced of it. He came off such a strong showing, and then we end up drafting Jalen Hurts. That kind of put a screw or threw a wrench in the whole relationship that Carson had with the organization. Everybody knows the story. Hurts ended up taking over. And now this whole year, there's been conversation about Deshaun Watson. There's been conversation about, should we trade for Russell Wilson at the end of the year? So it seems like Howie seems to me like the guy that just thinks the grass is greener on the other side of the fence in every situation.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of Eagles fans today that was just waiting for yesterday's moment to happen all season. And, it finally came, but like, I don't know, man, there's no need for, we've been down this road before. We don't want to go down the road again. I think, definitely hats off to Minshew for playing the game the way he did. Thank you for giving me the entertainment that you did yesterday. You showed what, a quarterback can actually do when you have the right weapons. And I still am willing to go ahead and give the game ball to Jalen Hurts and, and finish out.
You're giving yesterday's game ball?
No, not the game ball from yesterday's game. I'm talking about I'm putting the ball in his hands to go ahead and lead us out the rest of the season, bro. That's what we talked about. That's what we got to stick with. I'm gonna stick with that. Like you gotta let this dude finish out the year.
Prime was definitely feeling himself at the game. He was definitely having a great time. Like I saw. I was like, he was just like kind of like repeating himself, like to the point where he's just like anticipation. Like he was just geeked. So I was happy. I was happy to see him excited. I just thought just reading the timeline, everyone was like, a couple of people were like, "Yo, don't go to the timeline right now." It's like Eagle fans are going at each other, and I think if you love Jalen Hurts, like you really that's like you love him. I think that's cool. I mean, I know people who really love Minshew before Minshew was even here, like not even on his team.
Yeah.
So, like you can't this whole war of the QB worlds that we're going through. Like if I saw another post on timeline earlier today. There was an older Eagles fan talking about like when Bubby Brister went in for Randall Cunningham, like pull Randall Cunningham for Bubby Brister, and like if you're old head, you're like, oh, I get it, or like that moment that Donovan got pulled and Kevin Cobb came in, or like that moment when you thought or what's his name, Coy Detmer came in and like he was that neckbeard they called him, and everybody just loved his gun. He was just like a funny dude and quirky.
Yeah, but there was never like a quarterback controversy where people thought Coy Detmer.
No, but just Coy Detmer. Just I mean, hey, no, there were Eagle fans. If you've been on in these socials for a long period, in these chats, like talking about like Coy Detmer being get McNabb out of there, Wormbert. Like these conversations. Yes, these conversations. My point is, these conversations have been going on for years and years and years, and they're gonna continue as any backup quarterback always looks definitely enticing on the bench. But like I just said, the conversation's been happening for years.
For sure. Can we talk about something that I feel like has just not been? I feel like it's kind of been shoved under the rug since everybody's all caught up in Minshew Mania and everything. How about them starting out the game with 3 straight touchdowns? The Jets kind of had their way with our defense to start off the game. I mean, were you guys sitting there? And I know that the first drive started in our end based off of the kickoff, but was there any cause for concern about how easily they were moving the ball against us in the first half?
Well, we definitely were talking about how it was going to be a high scoring game, especially the way that not after the first drive, because the kickoff return definitely didn't put us in a good position. But after that second drive, then that third drive, I was like, this is going to be a high scoring game. Then it was just like, oh shit, like I mean, it's just going to take for one defensive stop. That's who's going to win this game. Whoever gets that great defensive stop, and luckily it was in our favor. But yeah, was I worried? Hell yeah, because I mean, like, come on, again. The Jets, like you're like, holy shit, like these guys are they're throwing the ball. Yeah, look, Elijah Moore, man, that kid is a stud. You know what I mean? Seeing, some of the plays that he was making, it was like, yo, are they ever going to go ahead and stop this shit? And like, we got 4 divisional games coming up. If we can't stop this, we're fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know any better way to say it. And Gannon, all I was kind of like hoping for was like, are you going to get fired after this game? Because this is terrible, man. Like, you need to make an adjustment bad.
There's no way Gannon's as bad as the Jets kicker, though.
Well, I mean, people just are talking about like the defense being a little bit more aggressive, and like you'd expect them to be aggressive against like a rookie quarterback who's had his struggles so far this season. I mean, ups and downs, whatever. There's been flashes of arm talent there, but you just talk about, I mean, even Elijah Moore, like we saw him, put, he was working when we went on that Jets Eagles training camp. The practice he was eating there. And so it's no surprise, but I mean, the thing that someone, I forget if it was someone turned to me, like, I was like, they're going to settle in. They'll settle in, once they settled in,
they didn't score again.
They didn't score again. So, it's, but I guess, I mean, if you talk to Uncle Seth Joyner, he's going to be very upset if you don't play aggressive. And I think a lot of Eagle fans do want to see that aggressive side by this Eagles defense, especially against a lower level team like the Jets.
Yeah, that was just, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that defense yesterday in the beginning was just something that really caught me off guard because I think, honestly, the defense has been playing relatively well recently. And, considering how good the secondary has been, I just was not expecting them to move the ball as easily as they did in the beginning of the game. That kind of really caught me off guard and made me think about, we got a lot of holes on this team. We really need a safety, man. I mean, Marcus Epps, he had a really good stop on the goal line yesterday. Had a crazy hit, but we just need some better safeties, man. We really do.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely thrown off by the 3 touchdowns. Well, the last 2, because the first one, again, due to the
they started on the the 35 or something
like that. Yeah,
21.
But then the next 2 drives when they scored, it was just like you're seeing the defense the way they were playing out. The prevent D was being shown a lot, you know what I mean? And then it was just like opening up. Like the one touchdown pass to the tight end. I mean, he was wide open. It was just like what defensive scheme are we trying to run here that we're just not clicking? And but I mean, after that one touchdown, it was just like it was shut down. It was a wrap. But my biggest fear, especially going into these next 4 divisional games, is we can't let we can't let Washington, Giants, and Dallas go and score 3 touchdowns on us and expect us to, you know what I mean, play the catch-up game the whole way. I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? So I think we really need to come up with a great defensive game plan for these next 4 games, because, you know, it's going to be key. It's going to be, you know, a big thing that we're going to definitely need in order to get these W's.
But offensively, our offense did score on 7 of 8 drives. So like, while we take away, you know that is a valid point.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh wow, the offense actually, really did move the ball, and you're like, okay, that was cool. I mean, one person who wasn't
Jake
surprised.
Elliott, doing Jake Elliott.
I mean, special teams player of the month for the
4
FC.
field goals yesterday. Oh, that's a fucking good day.
That was the fun part about yesterday's game too, man. Their field goal kicker couldn't make an extra point for shit. So like when the first one happened, that's pretty much where like it started for me. And then when he came after the second touchdown and they were getting ready to kick the extra point, all I kept on saying is like, he's gonna miss this one too. Bam, he misses that one, and it was just like, oh man, nothing to worry about. The third touchdown, they were all like begging. You could hear the whole place say, "Go for 2, go for 2."
Yeah,
Holy shit! Like,
after that second missed extra point, I knew there was not going to see him for the rest of the day.
You know who wasn't surprised by the score? Before that game even happened, we did a free ticket giveaway, which that was a shit show because the tickets were not claimed. So those seats went to 2 ghosts that enjoy themselves.
They have fun.
They had a great time.
They had a great time. But I did give away 2 of those seats to some good people. But one person wasn't surprised by the score. True story. You have won yourself a 4th and Jawn hoodie or a T-shirt. It's up to you. You can even get a phone covering if you want. I will send you the link. But true story, you did win. You were the closest. The score was 33-18. You guessed 31-17. So you are the winner.
Nice dub. That's awesome.
Just make sure you claim it, buddy.
If not, I'm wearing it myself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but looking back yesterday, aside from Gardner Minshew and the offense, aside from Gardner Minshew in the offense, what most impressed you guys yesterday? Was Dallas Goddard?
Dallas Goddard. I mean, you just talk about we've been. Oh, I know. I've been talking about the seams. I'm talking about Dallas Goddard being a focal point of the offense, and the man's went wild yesterday. And I felt like that one throw where, because they talk about backup quarterbacks not getting these valuable reps with the first team offense, and the fact that he threw that route. There's 2 guys around him, but he threw the ball with, like when they say like throw a dude open, that's the definition of throwing a guy open. So like the ball placement was there, and all he had to do was, move one way, and it was, and then he breaks through it, and you're just like, all right, man scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So Dallas Goddard, man, that guy needs, got paid, and he's showing you why he got paid.
And listen, I hate to be that guy, but to watch a tight end go out there and break tackles, man, it is a beautiful thing to see.
Oh, are you throwing dirt on the grave?
I'm not throwing any dirt on anybody. I'm just saying
It's
that
not even
I
about
love
throwing
a
dirt, man.
strong tight end that can go out there,
Yes.
break tackles, get
Yes.
yak.
Come
That's what a
on,
tight
man.
end should
That's
do. They're
exactly.
big, bro. They're one of the
Exactly.
strongest guys that touch the football. They should be
We're
able
not
to break
talking about it.
tackles.
We're not talking about somebody that was just on our team a couple years ago. We're talking about somebody that was on our team for 8-9 years and couldn't give us yak for shit. All right, but he was still
love you, guy.
But
Love
we
you,
still
guy.
loved him, and you know what I mean. He was still the man, but couldn't yak for shit. Yesterday, Dallas Goddard, yes, man, watching him catch, bro, it was beautiful watching that first touchdown of his through a play action. It was a play action, and like it was just so impressive to see. Like, and then one thing I gotta say, and just help me understand this. All right, we got the same line, the same job, the same duty to protect that quarterback, but I just felt like they went with a different scheme with Minshew. That one thing I did realize because I saw him under the center a whole lot. And you don't really get that with Jalen because he's normally in that shotgun. But yesterday, seeing Minshew in that under the center a whole lot, it was just like, I don't know, man. I'm guessing the offensive coordinator was like, hey, this guy's got different skill set. This is what we're going to run with him. And it worked. Whatever they put together for Minshew yesterday obviously worked. But it was a play action. Like, I can't. And Chris, shout out to Chris, man, because Chris called it. He was like, yo, play action. I see it happening. And then that's exactly. And it was a beautiful throw. It was a beautiful throw to Dallas, and he got it. The second touchdown was even more beautiful because after he caught that ball, he stiff-armed the shit out of that dude. All right. And then like he crossed the plane and he places the ball on that end zone. Like, yeah. That just happened. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. Like, yeah, I just scored this touchdown, bitch.
It's funny. Even in a big win, again, we're having people in the comments talk about Rager.
I'm glad you brought it up
because it's funny that like what's his name? Seth Joyner was. Hold on one sec. Seth Joyner was very upset. He said he needs to see a wizard. It's in the comments here, but here we go. I just think, I mean, they took him off kick return.
Yeah,
punt return. It could have been it could have been a bad mishap on there, but he made a play out of it. I just think at this point in time, take the man off special teams because he could. I don't know mentally where he's at. If you're just gonna have him on one thing, have him on offense. Let him not worry about special teams. But yeah, anyways.
I just wanted to know how soon after he let that ball go over his head on the kickoff were you expecting my text? I feel like you must have been sitting there waiting for it, dude. I was going crazy. Yeah, dude. Like I just don't get the mental lapses that are going on. But Rager is in a tough mental spot right now. I think it's just ultimately that. I think he's dug himself in a mental hole, and he just needs some time to get his head on straight. I think
but the thing
would be taking him out of special teams.
Thing about Rager, I just think it's there's this moment in time where a player has to like click into the. I'm not saying like mental health, whatever. I'm talking about as a professional, like where you're just like you take the next step, and all the little things is something that comes. Like I just talking to Jason Avant when we were at that that tour with him, just listening to him talking about how he, he's telling you that I didn't have the amazing speed or the crazy athleticism. He's like, I did all the little things. And I think, just listen to him talk about like why he lasted so long in the league. It's because he did all the little things. Yeah. And to be a great wide receiver in this league, you have to do the little things. And it's also, again, there's a mental level where you have to get there. So,
well, being so close to the field yesterday, I definitely didn't hold back. I let Rick know how I felt. But I mean, that one kickoff that he fumbled and then went behind, bro. I had a Randy Quaid and I'm talking about Randy Quaid in Major League when they hit that home run and he lost his shit because he had so much confidence in the Indians and he took his hat off and started walking. That's how I felt yesterday. Like I snapped. Like, dude, get the fuck off the field. Like, you're really pissing me off. All right. If you don't have a mental issue, I'm going to give you one. Because, goddamn, what the fuck? Like, just catch the goddamn ball. Like, he was sloppy, man. It was just sloppy. Put me in the back. I don't give a fuck.
Like I was like, man's just made a play, man, and he's yelling, "Get him off the field!" I was like, he just gained 13
But
yards.
he didn't get the first
like,
down.
Get him off the field. Get him off. Hey, man.
It was fun. It was fall all around. I mean, even when we had our first penalty, all right, I snapped because I thought it was the person who always does it. And I'm like, it's that fucking guy. It's that same goddamn guy. And it ended up being Josh Sweat. So, of course, here comes Gail crossing over like 3 people, wiping salt off my shoulders. Like, come on, man, really?
Wait, this guy, look, unhinged. I think there are other talking points. You could bring up the fact that Miles Sanders was utilized in a way 20 plus. Can we this is the thing we talked about, the carries for Miles Sanders puts up over 100 yards for the first time. What a running back had over 100 this season.
Is it?
But then it's weird because he got hurt.
Yeah. And that was one of those things that I kind of had a moment after that injury as well, where, I mean, love Miles. I think he is a really explosive athlete, but when he went down, it kind of got in my head is like, is this what Miles Sanders is? Like, is he a good back that is just incapable of staying healthy? And that's not anything he can really control in his own, but like, there's some guys out there that are just injury prone players. And as good as they are, if you can't rely on them to be able to play on Sunday, then, how much do you value them at that point? If you can't count on them to be there.
It's gonna be a tough offseason for him, especially. So the decision is gonna be tough to make. I agree with you, man. Like, we all have high hopes for Miles Sanders, but just knowing that he has this injury prone thing with him, it's just like it's scary, man. Because I mean, again, he had a monster game yesterday, and then him go down and hold it. Because I mean, it didn't look good. I mean, Chris, I wanted to kind of kick Chris because he was like, he tore. What did he say? He tore his tibula or something like that. I'm like, what the hell?
Chris was going.
How the hell did you know that from up here? Like,
he said, he said Theismann. I was like, bro, you weren't even alive during Theismann. Okay. I was like, because all the Eagle fans were like, what did he say?
Bro, yeah. I was like, bro, if you don't stop, like, how do you determine that from over here? Like, if you get out of here with that, go get a pretzel or go get a drink. Get the hell out of here.
Shout out to Mally. That was his first road game ever.
That was his first road game ever.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I felt like and he saw a dub. That's a good day.
I felt like he was just like I saw a different version of Mally because I usually see at the link Mally, but he was just like, all right, because he didn't know the situation of going into to the stadium. He was ready to go. Are we going in? Are we going?
Yeah. He brought that Lincoln Financial Field mentality with him too, because there was one point where he went and got a drink, came back, and the gentleman got up and was like, go ahead, go by. He was like, no, we're in the middle of a play, and he took a knee because he's so accustomed to getting at the link. Because when you're trying to come up the stairs or go to your seats, the guards will stop you from going because they're thinking about all the other fans watching the play. So the guy's looking at me, standing up, and he's looking at him like, yo, what are you about to do or something? Because he takes a knee. And I'm looking
at him. He took a literal knee?
He took a knee. And he was like, yeah, there's a play going on right now. And I was like, yo, we're not at the lake, bro. Like, get up.
I know Evan's going to appreciate this one. Mally was like, he went to go use the bathroom, and like he came back like, oh, he's like, these bathrooms are so clean, and then the porta potties are so he's like, it's way cleaner than the link. He's like, this is crazy. He got to use the bathroom, got to get the food, so he's just like, man, this is way different than the link. But yeah, man, he had a good time.
I had the same realization last week. I was in the porta potty. I went in the porta potty after the game when we were sitting there waiting for the steaks to be grilled, and I'm sitting there. I was like, these things are still immaculate. What is going on? Like
they got music
that was here earlier.
They got music. They got theme music in there while you use the porta potty. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Shout out to one of my college teammates. He's like, I think he's like, you guys are still living in the parking lot after he saw our post from because it felt like we were there for like 2 weeks. I mean, we
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
but we did after the game. We actually we tailgated a little bit more. Threw on some tried to make some steak and cheese, but not as it wasn't as good as our man Evans.
Wait, you tried what, like cooking up a steak and then throwing some cheese on?
It was
top?
it was impromptu.
He didn't have no salt. He didn't have no pepper.
I got you.
He almost didn't have butter, but somebody came through with the butter. The butter got thrown on there, and it gave it a little bit of seasoning to it.
Yeah.
But look, hands down, it still came out good, Gail. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It's just definitely not an Evan though.
Look at Evan. Look at Evan's face.
Oh yeah,
he's like,
listen, we appreciate you even way more. Okay,
don't ever cheat on my steaks.
Yo, for real, I put that out during the game too, but not during the game, during the tailgate, because I'm sitting at home and I'm just I was sick. I was on the mend. I'm just on the couch watching and keeping up. I had legit FOMO going on yesterday. I'm just following the tailgate, and then I see that my grill just sitting there being cooked on. It legit felt like I was being cheated on. Like I had that actual feeling in the pit of my stomach.
I made sure
this motherfucker's out here making food for other people while I'm not there.
I made sure that the grill was getting covered. I made sure that they put it back. Chris put the grill into the truck first and try to cover it with everything else. I'm like, yo, you can't.
For the sake of Gail's car, please tell me you guys dump the grease trap.
Oh shit, girl.
Oh,
what does that mean?
Grease trap on the side. You gotta dump it.
Hopefully
otherwise, all the grease is gonna slosh around in there while you're driving.
Please don't tell me that thing is still sitting in your truck, bro.
You got to dump the grease trap, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yo, first of all, Mally's like, yo, man, I don't know what.
About to
the propane.
Gail's about to run outside. Don't light a match in there, bro.
Matt is like, I don't know, man. The propane went out, man. Like, I think it's done. I was like, bro,
propane. No. We said that. We said
It's-
that. He was like, it's not working. We looked at him like, huh? And like he was like, man, I don't know. I think it's the propane. We're like, what? He just said he got a brand new propane. Like, look at that thing. That thing looks crispy. And
I
he's
was like, that lasted like 5 tailgates, bro. Like that thing is good. So I was like, so after the game, I'm like, bro, I got steaks in there. Like we're trying this again. So
and not only that, you know how Gail is before we go into the game. He's always like checking to make sure he's got everything, like his keys, his wallet, his phone. Well, yesterday he was like, he kept on asking me, like, yo, man, is everything all right with that grill? Like, did you think the grill got messed up? You think something happened to the grill? I'm like, bro, relax. I think the grill is fine. All right, we're gonna try it again. And then of course, when we get out there, it turns on with no problem. So you know what I mean, I'm like, I'm yelling at Chris. I'm like, Chris, man, you gotta treat this thing, this is Evan's baby. Like, relax.
Ivan's calling Mally a grill rookie. Oh, shots in
man.
Now Adam said he said he already shaved my beard into a Minshew mustache. I'm buying into the hype. Wow.
Honestly,
I mean, if you follow Chris,
honestly,
don't you do it, pal. Don't you do it.
Might have to.
Don't you do it.
Oh man.
Don't you do it.
Oh man.
I got headbands.
Shout out to Mally's profile, by the way.
Yeah, man. Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a comment by Ricky Payton, I believe, earlier. He talked about when will the information go about the next tailgate. If you don't hear from us or any post or whatever, just know we will be in G2. That's where we're gonna be. Like,
there's
nothing changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're ever lost, yeah, we'll put out a post. So that'll be for the Washington game, and then
Ricky's really excited, man, because he's bringing his wife. This is going to be her very first game. He was hit me up last night. Conversation went a distance, you know what I mean, and I'm just trying to let him know that everything's going to go well. Ricky, we're going to make sure you get all the information that you need. We're going to definitely keep everybody posted. Just hang in there. Understand that we are 2 weeks away. It's not like it's this week coming up. So, if we take a little break, just let us have our little break and then we'll come back and then we'll let you know what's going on.
I mean, speaking of breaks, this team is going on a bye, and I think going on a bye with a win, perfect timing. Potential players that could be coming back, Jordan Howard because I know he's got his fan club right now. Brandon Brooks could be back. Whoa, that'll be interesting. The fact that Driscoll's out and on the IR, Herbig did his thing, but
Kelsey should
Brandon
be good to
Brooks
go.
return. Kelsey could be returning. Jalen Hurts should be returning. Let me repeat. Jalen Hurts should be returning.
Capital SHWLD
will be returning. Are you guys excited about the bye?
I am excited about the bye. I mean, it's always nice to it's nice to get. We do a lot of running around during the football season. It's nice to get a little week vacation, so to speak, of it. But I mean, I kind of want to talk. Go ahead. Sorry, Prime. I'll let point that I want to get to.
I'll let you get back to your point, but yeah, real quick. Yeah, I think it's a perfect time to have the bye, and I think it's definitely to our advantage. Again, we got 4 divisional games coming up. They already had their bye. We're not taking any more road trips. You know what I mean? We're not flying or anything like that. We're staying on the ground. All we're doing is just getting in buses and traveling to where we need to go to. So I think it's to our advantage, man. But again, we've been in this position before. We actually started in this position last week, and look, the outcome didn't go our way. So I'm hoping that they can change it around. I'm looking at the standings here. We are on the brink. Right now, we're holding that 8th spot. We got Washington and 49ers that just need to fall apart. I mean, Washington's got 2 games against Dallas. We got 2 games against Washington. So, I mean, this thing can still, go either way. And then, we definitely would love for the 49ers to go ahead and collapse and fall out of this spot. So, it's on us. But I think this is the perfect time to go ahead and get that bye.
It's the perfect time to do some crafty things with the family. It's the perfect time to get away, get some headspace. I think it's perfect time for Rager to get some headspace. I think it's a perfect time for what else? I think it'll be nice just to chill
People
for a
just
week.
to heal up, man. People just to
be
heal
honest.
up.
My gas tank needs to heal up because I spent
sure.
about these gas prices when you're doing road trips.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's kind of crazy, but you're gonna say
No, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about Jason Kelsey, dude. This guy in probably his last year, he's mentioned before about how this is probably his last year that he's going to play. Dude is still playing at another level. Like, he is still, in my opinion, I think this isn't biased either, as the top center in the league. Like, he's all the way downfield on blocks. At the age that he is, he's pulling. It's really incredible to see, man. I think that he is a guy that it just doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, it comes up all the time, but I feel like his impact that he has on this team is just so great.
Yeah, agreed, man. I mean, it was kind of a little scary seeing him yesterday go down for the little bit that he did, and then he tried to walk off on his own, and he didn't really have too much success with that. There was word that he ended up leaving the stadium in a boot, for precautionary reasons. I'm pretty sure that was it. And then again, here I can't implement the whole fact that we got the bye coming up at the perfect time. Yeah. So now he gives him time to go ahead, depending on what the situation is, because I didn't hear nothing today. Not sure if they even took him to go get an MRI, whatever the case may be. But, again, the bye plays a factor because now these guys can heal up and get ready for these 4 big divisional games we got coming up.
Yeah, we talk about a leader and a guy that exemplifies what it is to be an Eagle through and through. When you see Kelsey hurt in any type of way, you think he's going to gut this one out if you can. And if he can't, he'll kick a garbage can. I don't know if you remember, he beat the crap out of that garbage can when someone stepped on his toe, but he came back. But Sirianni spoke to he feels like Kelsey should be okay after the bye. Yeah. So
we thought the same thing about Hurts for the last game though too. So, but we got some more time to wait it out.
Man, look at this. I'll be here. Like, this is where we are.
Real. The Minshew Mania is real.
I see it, man. I see it.
So, are you saying the Minshew Mania is? I know it's real, but is it here to stay?
I'm just getting a rise out of people.
For the season, or stay just in general. I mean, because
The Minshew energy is going to exist now for the rest of the year, just based off of this one good performance that he had. If we don't see Minshew for the rest of the year and Jalen Hurts plays anything but spectacular, people are going to talk about Gardner and how he should be playing.
Hey, man, like the backup thing, like when I have friends who are still one of their favorite players is Coy Detmer and the neckbeard. They still talk about it. They still talk about his dance where he went.
Yeah, the
Like
wobble.
they still talk about it. They love
time,
that.
bro.
They love. I mean, I've come to terms with this whole, like, people will, knock Eagle fans or knock Philadelphia fans, and there's this thing about Philadelphia fans where they find, I guess, the silver lining in things where, like, they always they get excited about the dumbest things, like the fact that we're wearing ski masks one time, we're wearing daisies. Like, we just need something to, like, pick me up. We're wearing dog masks.
I wore it yesterday on the couch.
Yeah, I mean, this moment, Jeff Garcia is our baby. Like, we look to these small things to just get us through whatever is it, hard time or what. Like, we look for those silver linings. So I feel like hat tip to Philadelphia fans, because you find enjoyment in the small things.
So this is a good point right here. I mean, I don't know. Does Minshew Mania rise if they go ahead and make the decision on not bringing him, or not make the decision? But he's not. He might not.
He
might still be hurt.
Nah, considering Hurts was saying that he was going to be good to go for this game, unless something happens that is just, outside of the facility or something like that, or just some freak things happens, I don't see any possibility that Hurts isn't going to be ready to go. I just think that it's he seemed 90% ready to go yesterday, so that means that he's got 2 weeks to get the other 10%.
Elena says we got to do something. Let us live. would you guys call Philadelphia fans hype beasts?
Hype beast? Yeah, I think that's a good definition.
But that's just been our thing too. These last couple of seasons is building off of something to give us that hype towards the end of the season. It was the dog mask. It was the ski mask. Is it Minshew Mania this year? Is it? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Because look,
it's certainly a fun thing to be a part of, man.
Right, and I'm riding with Hurts. Don't get me wrong, I'm riding with Hurts. But if that Minshew Mania comes, I'm ready, man.
Oh, yo, Prime grow a mustache. I'm like, bro, you haven't had a mustache since I've known you.
Look,
and
man.
now you got to hold me. Like, yeah, don't even try it. Don't even try it. I was gonna say, shout out to Chris again, who's making his ways around social media as the Jim McMahon or Minshew. He already is looking at bomber jackets for the replica.
Yeah, he killed it with the Top Gun jacket yesterday.
And I'm out here trying to help him find patches for this, because I mean, that's one thing. It's just like watching fans be excited for anything. Eagle fans be excited for anything. I think moving into Washington, building a lot of hype. I do feel like Eagle fans are. You could say it's regular season, but it's playoff time. Like, we lose a game. And I said I'm one of those we guys. If the Eagles lose a game, it's over. I mean, it's going to be very hard to get into these playoffs. So running the table will be something nice. You guys remember that ride when Carson Wentz and that team, the Eagles team, took a ride into the playoffs?
That was completely different. That year had a totally different feel to it.
No, but I'm saying they had to win every game to get in. So here we are.
You're not talking about the year we won the Super Bowl. I thought you were talking about the year we won the Super Bowl.
Hell no.
This is some different feelings this year.
No.
Like, going to this Washington game, they have to win this game. There's no other. So playoff football in Philadelphia is here.
It's here. It's officially here. And we're here for it.
Yes, sir. We are.
We have missed the Sixers game because of this podcast. We have missed Monday Night Football.
Not
almost
entirely.
Any things you guys want to add in? Thank you, Eagles guy 403. Thank you for sticking around.
Appreciate it, man.
It was, first of all, glad to just pull ourselves out of Eagles conversation real quick. Glad Trenton Cannon's okay. I'm not sure if you guys saw that hit yesterday. That was nasty, man. And to see someone it be so bad that they bring the ambulance out onto the field to take him away. That was a really scary moment. I'm not sure if you had seen that or not, but he was not moving for a solid 15 minutes, and ultimately, I was fearing the worst. Honestly, he had his neck bent all sorts of ways, and he walked away with it with only a concussion. They released that today, so prayers up to him. Hope he heals up right, man, because that was a really scary thing to say.
Mark is with the breaking news: Sixers win in OT. I didn't actually see that, so it'll be interesting
it was
to check out.
Pretty crazy.
Not interesting. That's always scary injuries. Joey says, I believe if Jalen starts for Washington and he plays poorly, I have a feeling he will be benched if the Eagles are down by the first half. What do you guys think? And we're playing in Philly, so that comment is just what Eagle fans we're all thinking. Like even if you know in your heart of hearts that like Jalen Hurts may have, I'm not gonna say he's gonna struggle, but I mean he'll have his ups and downs or whatever. But the fact that that some Eagle fans don't have that kind of patience, they're just they'll be like that. Like I'm not that type of fan. I'm not like I'm not reactionary when I know the understanding of the situation, but you can't tell other fans to not be like that because they just are like that.
But do you think that because of the game that Gardner Minshew had yesterday, that Jalen Hurts' leash is now shorter just based off of that?
I just think the issues that he might be having, like with anticipation throws and just being consistent as a passer, will people will tend to look at that kind of stuff. But I do think I appreciate him being here to make Hurts a better quarterback. Like if you as a competitor see another guy on your team balling, obviously your teammates, but when you play the same position, if that doesn't make you want to be a better QB or study harder or start getting working on the things that you're not great at, I think you always want to have someone to push you. Just like the fact Wentz was here and we had Hurts pushing him and trying to make him a better QB, and Wentz it was an issue that was here. Like I want guys to sharpen each other. Like if that's the fact that, hey man, we want a QB. I want him to be like Michael Jordan, like feel slatted. Okay, Howie.
Yeah, I don't know though, because I feel like we all feel that way. We all want to be able to bring a player in to make the other players better and work off of each other. But I'm not sure if necessarily that is how it actually works in reality. Now that we've been through this so many times, when has there ever been a quarterback that has been somewhat content with a quarterback coming in, making some big noise and kind of creating this whole sort of quarterback controversy energy? I don't think there's any quarterbacks that want that. We say as analysts, fanalists, we like to say that we want the best two quarterbacks in there. So A, we have a great backup option, and B, those two can work off of each other to make each other better. But I think that is a formula that ultimately it takes a very special person to be able to put up with. I mean, and even look at Aaron Rodgers. He's not that guy that is willing to bring in a quarterback to be his backup. He threw a big fit when they got Jordan Love.
He's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is that guy. Aaron Rodgers is a guy
I was doing the meme.
I understand what you're doing, but I'm just making the point that Aaron Rodgers isn't necessarily that guy that needs someone to come in here and make him better, but he still feels the heat, even when it's not needed.
This point that Mark brings up, thoughts of a two QB offense.
As much as Hurts and Carson. to go.
That ran by my mind recently. I was like,
Why?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It's not a successful.
Can you let me finish? Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, like, you're watching these guys play, and you're just like, all right. I've heard people just say, Minshew should take over, and then the other people just saying this Hurts offense, and I was like, man, just imagine if they try this dumb bullshit when bringing a 2 QB offense, but like imagine it like if you go back to Chris Leak, Tim Tebow, like how much like Taysom Hill, your favorite quarterback, and Drew Brees, you know how they got weird with the Saints. It's just like I don't want to go to this, but I think this is a thought that has brushed across the timeline. I've seen a couple people say that already.
Yeah, you're never going to find that quarterback to actually agree with this decision because I mean it's their livelihood. This is their life right here. So this is what they make a living off of. Knowing that somebody's going to come in and take your job, that's definitely never going to sit in the back of your mind, the right way. But people can, definitely learn off of that. I mean, you would hope that Jalen would go ahead and listen to Minshew. Minshew would go ahead and teach him. But at the end of the day, man, those are the two guys that are fighting for that job regardless. Minshew put out, he put out a good resume yesterday. Hate to tell you, his resume looked real sharp yesterday.
Like a Jeff's message is kind of like, if you have 2, then you have none.
Yeah, and looking at something that Minshew had said back when he was in Jacksonville, I saw an interview where I was actually cracking up, where when they drafted Trevor Lawrence, they were asking Gardner Minshew how he felt about that. And he said, and I quote, that he didn't take a shit for months to prepare for that because number 2 was never an option. And I heard that. I was like, yo, that is freaking hilarious. And so you look at that mentality of the Jacksonville bringing in a number 1 overall pick and Trevor Lawrence, who everybody agreed was going to be the number 1 pick. And everyone, at least at the beginning of the season, thought was going to be pretty much an instant success in this league, while Gardner Minshew thought that he had a chance to be in competition with them. I at least appreciate that mentality, but I also think that same mentality still exists in Philadelphia. I don't think that Gardner Minshew wants to be a backup. I think he wants this to be his team.
I mean, the funny thing about Minshew is like, he's spicy, and like sometimes, you like, you didn't put enough salt in it. Like this guy is not putting this. He's putting hot sauce in it wherever he goes. And some people like the hot sauce. Not everyone likes the hot sauce. But I know Prime doesn't really like spices in his life either. I'm just kidding. I just want to see a reaction. Like, I'm Latino. Eh? So no, I was gonna say it was funny that year when we drafted Clayton Thorson. I was like, bro, like, and I'm thinking Gardner Minshew was coming. Like he's still on the board. And just watching Clayton Thorson fizzle out and then Gardner Minshew do his thing, I was like, bro, he was the late round quarterback that you needed and you didn't get him. And here we are. He's on our squad now. It's just a funny thing. Just funny how things work. But hey, man, I've been entertained for the last couple days.
Welcome to the danger zone.
Oh, because of his bomber jacket?
Oh, man, listen, man, he inspired me to watch the Top Gun, bro. Like, that song keeps playing in the back of my mind.
If anyone doesn't know, Prime watches more movies than any man I know. Every time I watch, everyone talking, he's watching a movie in the background. He got every single channel. Yeah, man. Prime has it. But last words. I think we did last words a while. Evan, do you got last words?
I just want to say that I think it's pretty interesting that Nick Sirianni a few weeks ago, he mentions fertilizing the soil, and now we got a guy named Gardner coming in here. There's layers to this thing. There's levels to what's going on here. This could have been what he was predicting weeks ago. This is all that fertilizer talk. This is where it all came from. We got the Gardner in town.
It's kind of interesting, man. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off of AJ's comment earlier in the comments. We all need some meditation. So take these next couple of days, this 1 week, before we get back on track to, time for ourselves, man, because we don't know what these Eagles are going to go ahead and do to us in these next 4 weeks. We got some serious work to do, and I hope we get it together, man, because I would love to see us pull off, the miracle at the end of the tunnel, man. We got it. It can't be placed any better than what it is. I know we've been there, but I just hope they play it out. Other than that, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate everybody that joined us yesterday. It was another great opposing teams tailgate. Yeah, I mean, but it was a great time. But at the end of the day, it's always fly, Eagles fly.
And Prime said miracles. I mean, the miracles. I mean, when you could say
Miracle,
it, man.
bro.
You could say playoffs if you want. Playoffs. You could say it, man. I just like you said miracles, and my face started
Hey, no,
smiling.
Evan's right. Miracle grow. You know what I mean? Hey, another addition
Miracle,
to the garden.
hey. But overall, I mean, I just want to thank everyone who showed up to the tailgate and had a good time with us. It's always interesting to meet people on the road that have been listening to your show that you've never met before, and they get a chance to just stop by and you share a brew, you share some food, and just have a good time. And that's what it's really all about. Upcoming, the Washington tailgate should be one of the best, I think. And I think if you follow Jennifer Slay and you add her, I appreciate some of the people who have added her when she's made these comments. So thank you for putting this into existence. We're just hoping this goes off with a bang. But I'm excited for that. But I'm also excited for this bye. Like Prime said, the meditation, mental space, whatever you need to get back to getting back to make you feel decent. That goes to you, Rager, as well. So be it. Have a nice week off. Watch some other teams. Go watch some movies like Prime. Go learn how to make a cheesesteak like Evan. It's tough. It's a tough thing. Orlando, is this a thing?
Yeah, man. He's always promoting the hot sauce. Yeah, I think it is a thing.
Yeah. Hey, can we if you send us some hot sauce, we'll do a taste test.
For sure.
There you go. I'm definitely down, man. I'll let your boy.
I don't do. Ev, you do a hot sauce, by the way, Ev?
Yeah. Nothing like over the top spicy, but I like that. I'm saying, don't give me like that stuff from Hot Ones where it's gonna melt my mouth,
or give you 15 more trips to the bathroom.
Hey. That's a wrap.
No, no hot sauce for that, man.
Yeah. But anyways, man, I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are good. I hope your family's good. Hope your spirits up after that dub. We'll see you guys soon, and we'll see you guys in the next one. As always, fly, Eagles, fly.